Hello everyone, RiverFox again. Welcome back to another Fortnite Save the World video. As we've had a load of new updates and different things from the Season 8, I thought I would come in and do another quick updated video for you on survivors and how to level up your power level the quickest ways. Okay, now the main way of leveling up your power level is your survivor squads. Now it doesn't matter whether you're in Stonewood or Plankerton, Canny Valley or Twine Peaks. It's pretty much the same all the way through the different missions. The only difference that you will find is that you may not have all of your survivor squad slots unlocked, and some of the actual slots here may not be open at all. You may just only have the 2 or the 3 different squads, but the basis of it is exactly the same no matter where you are. So the first thing that you want to do is to make sure that you get your lead survivor in the right personality. Like this one here, we've got an analytical doctor, so you've got to have the leader matching as a doctor. Of course, if you don't have any survivors or lead survivors that match, then of course temporarily you can always put in any survivor that you have. It will increase your power level, but to get the best benefit from it, you need to make sure that the actual leader matches the slot that it's going into. Now the second part is the actual squad members here. Is you want to make sure that their personality matches the personality of your leader. Again, if you don't have survivors that match, you can slot them in, but then when you get a new survivor, you'll be able to swap that over and match up those personalities, because the more personality matches you can get, the more bonus that you will get for your squad. If you don't have, like me, I've got a few legendary ones here, and I've got some epics and even rare ones still that I've got, because I don't have any higher rarity. But the higher the rarity of your survivor, the more bonus it will give you. So always try and slot in the higher personalities. If you don't have them, then of course you can slot in a lower one. Try not to upgrade lower personality or lower rarity survivors, because you will be just sort of wasting your survivor XP, because you can't increase the rarity of a survivor. Unlike with your heroes, you can increase the rarity of them, you can make them into epics and legendaries, but you can't do that with your survivors. So you'll see here my epic survivor here. Now I have started leveling that up a little, but I've not leveled it too much because I don't want to go wasting all my survivor XP on it. The rare ones, I probably, unless you're very early on in Stonewood, things like that, I probably wouldn't recommend upgrading the rare ones at all, because there's always opportunity to get epic at least for a rarity. So that's the best way for those. Now you can, if you go into your manage survivors, you can of course recycle your survivors, which I'm not going to actually recycle any, but if I was to recycle this rare survivor, then I will get 750 survivor XP and a training manual for doing that. But you won't get all of the XP back that you put into it. You will get most of it, but you won't get all of it. So that's why I say don't worry so much about upgrading your rare or anything lower than a rare. Only go for upgrading your epic and your legendary ones. Now, like I have on this tab here, I do have a mythic survivor. Now, mythic survivors, of course, are the best survivors that you can get, but they will take quite some time to get them. And I think the sort of goal of end game of this is to try and have every survivor and the lead survivor as a mythic. And then of course you'll be right up there at the top with all the OG players who have got those. Now, as you can see, I'm on power level 92 at the moment, but I'm still a long way to go. I've still got quite a lot of epics and even the odd rare survivor in there, so I've still got a long way to go. That's definitely the ultimate aim, is to get your leads and your squad members all into mythic, but that will be a long way down the line. Now, we do have an option at the bottom here to turn on autofill. Now, autofill is okay if you're down in Stonewood, where you won't have very many survivors at all to slot in. So initially, I think probably until you get into Plankerton, then yes, you can use the autofill, which is basically means as soon as you get a new survivor that's better than something you've got in place, it will automatically slot it in. But what you will find with that is it won't match up personalities or anything. It will literally just slot in what it sees to be a higher leveled survivor than is already there. So again, don't need to worry, you can use that initially in Stonewood, but once you get into Plankerton and you start getting into higher rarity survivors, then I would definitely turn that off. Don't use it, and slot in your own, because you'll be able to slot in the correct survivors and make sure their personalities match. Okay, now the next part of how to level up faster, of course, is your research tab. Now, of course, I'm on max now for everything at the moment, but by upgrading your research tab will increase your power level. Of course, not as much as using the survivors and getting them right, but researching and increasing those does increase your power level. Now, since we had the update of Season 8, they have vastly improved the XP that you can receive from missions, most importantly these beta storm missions, where you can gain a lot more XP for these missions. Now, in Stonewood, like these missions here, you can get around about 440 schematic XP, 550. What else do we have? You've got 660 hero XP there, but you will get ones where you have survivor XP in there, which would be a similar amount of XP. Once you go into Plankerton, then of course the rewards do get greater, and let's have a look. There's one here. I mean, you can get 2,800 hero XP there for your heroes. And if we have a quick look, is there any other missions? There we are. Now this one's got 6,200 survivor XP. So, a couple of these missions and you'll be able to get a lot of XP. Of course, each stage as you go up into Canny Valley now, the rewards will always get far greater. Like this one, we've got 23,515 survivor XP just from that one mission. So, you can get thousands and thousands and even millions of survivor XP in no time whatsoever. Just for anybody who is in Twine Peaks. I'm hoping by now that you should have a pretty good understanding of survivors, but in case you don't, in Twine Peaks there's a mission here. You can get 33,000 schematic XP. And of course, as I say, these do change and update all the time, so if you get one there with survivor XP on it, you can even get 4-person missions. There we are. You've got 2 lots of 49,500 XP, so there's almost 100,000 XP there just from one mission, and that's enough probably to to do a couple of levels up on a survivor just from one mission. So that at the moment, since the update, is the best way of increasing your power level, is grind out those survivor missions. Get as much XP as you can, level up those survivors, level up those heroes, and you'll be able to get a really good power level. But don't forget about your schematics as well, because although you'll be increasing your power level very, very quickly, you of course will be going up to higher missions and stronger husks, so you need to have stronger weapons as well. But the main thing I want to point out is don't over evolve your weapons, because you want to make sure you can still craft them. If you go too high on your schematics, then you won't be able to get the materials for crafting, and then you'll have no weapons. So don't overcraft, and don't do your missions. Don't go too fast in trying to get to a higher level. Try and enjoy the game, because it can be a lot of fun. But also, if you're trying to do missions that are too high up or too high a power level for you, then it can also be quite frustrating and annoying as well. So you want to make sure that you try and follow your quest line. That's the best advice I can give you. Follow that quest line. Keep yourself within the realms of your hero's skill, and you'll be perfectly fine going up in the missions. Okay, another quick tip that you can use to get your survivor XP, as well as through the new increased missions, you can use your transform schematics as well, which, as long as you've unlocked this ability, if you go onto your transform schematics, and you should have one at the bottom here of survivor transform schematic, then this one will transform them into a rare survivor, but you may also have epic or even legendary as well. But if you go down on the survivor transform schematic here, now this is where you get all your transform schematics, where you can basically transform any of your heroes, your weapons, your traps, anything into something else. Now you hopefully should have this one at the bottom. This is survivor transform schematic rare. Will transform a set of items into a random survivor. Can create up to a rare item. So if we click on this, now you've got all these boxes here that you can potentially add items into. Now you do need to have people, which just go back a few pages here. In your resources you'll have down here people, and you receive these by doing rescue the survivor missions, or any survivors that you rescue, you'll get these tickets. So you use them in your transform schematics, and depending on what items you actually transforming determines how many people tickets that you require. So on this case, if I go over here to my survivors, now I've got some blue survivors here which I don't need. So normally I would go in, I would just recycle them, get the XP back, and use them to upgrade another survivor. But what we're going to do is we're going to add both of these in here. And you'll see on the right hand side there it's gone to max level now. So by adding those two in, if we transform them, we will receive 1500 survivor XP, and we will receive 2 training manuals. It's going to cost us 25 people tickets to do that, but if we go and transform, what we will do is we'll confirm that. Now by transforming that, you automatically receive a new rare survivor. So not only have you just received all of the XP that you would have had just by recycling them, you've also received another survivor in there as well. So you can do that with any survivors that you don't need. Let's see, I've got 2 left, so we use a grey one there as well. So I'm going to get another 1750 XP and another training manual for this one, and I'm using that same survivor that we just received from transforming the other 2, and I get yet another survivor. So I mean, you can pretty much do that as many times as you like. You can keep getting the survivors from transforming and then use that same survivor back again. So I mean, in theory you could pretty much get an infinite loop of getting survivor XP. So that is a very useful tip. Don't just recycle or retire your survivors. Use the transform key instead, and you will be able to get much more survivor XP from it. So there's a good tip for you. Well, I hope this has given you a bit more insight now into survivors and heroes and how to level up the fastest way but the best way. If you've enjoyed the content, please feel free to drop a like down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe before you go. I do upload quite frequently throughout the week. If you are new and you haven't already subscribed, then just to let you know, whenever I do get new subscribers, I will give you a shout out on the videos. It doesn't always show me your name when you subscribe, so if you do subscribe, just drop me a little comment down below, and I'll try and include you in my next video with a nice shout out. But I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope you have a lovely day, and as always, stay safe.